Hey, and welcome to part 2 of repotting our March 2024 ICPU orchids. These are the 3 I'm real worried about. Now this one here did get some kind of light burn, sunburn. This is all nice and crispy. So the first thing I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to cut right along the edge here and kind of take off the dead tissue. If I can just kind of peel it away because it is kind of sealed itself. This way I'm sure not to get into any tissue. Then we'll do that. Otherwise, we will just clip right on the outer edge, right as it is. Boom. And then this way, it's already sealed itself on here. Let me just clip that little piece off. I'm not going to pay attention one day and I'm just going to pull it thinking it's a string of some sort if I can get to it. There we go. And another thing that kind of concerns me with this one is look at her. I don't know if you can see that with the glare, but look at this. Look at this stem and that, and then there's the top. But I can't cut the stem because all the roots are down here. So I am going to pot her kind of low, almost like a paphiopedilum, right to the base in here, so it helps hold in moisture. She's going to get filled up to probably about right there just to help encourage roots to come from the base, not down from below. That's the concern with this one. And then she has quite the mechanical damage. She has some issues here, but I think if I can just get her to grow some lovely roots, I think she'll be fine. Again, we're leaving the spike on to help with absorbing some nutrients from the spike so that she can survive and thrive. And I forgot to wet this first, so let me wet it now. There we go. All right, and then we will just fill this one up. And I like to position my phals really low. And as you can see, her roots, they're a little tired. Matter of fact, this one right here, we'll go ahead and cut it off because I will show you here. It was just kind of hanging on by that little string right there. So we'll go ahead and cut that one off. Let me just double check them though. That's what we're going to leave on there. There's a lot of cracking and damage in there, but I think they'll be fine because it does, there we go, it does hydrate the young lady because she does firm up throughout the day when she's in the water. They've only been soaking probably for about 10 minutes in the calcium and seaweed just because that water was just right there and I didn't want to repot them. Or pot them up, not repot them because they came bare root, but pot them in when their roots were dry because then of course there would be lots more crackling going on. And we are trying to avoid a crackling situation. Put that in there and I'm gonna show you guys what I was talking about, kind of potting her up like a paphiopedilum, because with paphiopedilums you kind of put the base right under the media so that the roots can go directly down because they definitely don't do aerial roots, not in the sense of what we talk about, because those aerial roots will dry out on a paphiopedilum. Now, Phalaenopsis, they enjoy it. You need to be very careful where that leaf joint is that I keep water away from over there. And what I'm talking about is, move my water bottle because she's in the way. But if you look right down here where the spike has come out, there's like a little gap right here. So there's no media in that area simply because I don't want water to pool in that area. And generally what I do with my rescue orchids anyways, I will put them and just water the outside and then I set them in a plastic bowl or of some sort and then I just kind of fill the water halfway up so that the bottom kind of gets moisture. This way I'm protecting the crown. That is all we're gonna do with her. And then it is pretty high up under here. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but she's pretty high potted in that area. And then this one here, oh my goodness, look at her. Look at her, she looks so sad. But I think, again, I think she's salvageable. She's got lots of issues with her leaves, and I keep thinking I'm going to just cut this section right here, but I'm kind of waiting to see what it does because it looks like it's going to senesce itself anyway. And then this smaller one, I did cut that bad section off on the end, dipped it in some cinnamon, but the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking I may want to take it off because I do. You see the little swelling right there? That's a little root nubbin, and I would like to try to help that root nubbin. So, excuse me, we're going to go ahead and take this off and see what we have up under here, being careful not to break any of the roots, as she does have. Let's see, check for, since we took that off, check for any melis. Let's see, do we see any, what is this? Let me use my little bamboo skewer and see what that is. Oh, that's just a piece of the sheathing. Okay, so now it'll kind of allow this little root nubbin, this little itty bitty root nubbin, hopefully, to do something. And it is going in this teeny tiny pot. I don't know if it's gonna fit, but we're gonna put her in that pot. She's going to fit in that pot, whether she wants to be in there or not. And the reason being is she doesn't have that big of a root system right now. I need her to stay as hydrated as possible for as long as possible to allow that to go in there. And again, that bark that's attached did not want to come off. I did not insist on it coming off, but the bark is causing some issues with trying to get her in the pot. But that's all right. So now we twist and gently push down. Push down. Let's see. That is not going to be tall enough, I don't think. Maybe if we take some of the bark out. All right, we still have some fungi in there. And then maybe if, and don't be afraid to play around with your roots, guys. When they're wet, they're a lot more pliable and you can kind of guide them where you want them to go. So right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of going ahead and twisting them into the circle and kind of going around this large piece of bark here that's kind of keeping everything from doing the thing I want it to do, which is wrap around the bottom of the pot. And then gently move. Let's see if that helped any. I don't know that it did. No, well, you know what? We're gonna put her in here and just see what happens. Let me see if I can just kind of finagle her a little bit more. All right, that's that. This is the one that I'm most worried and concerned with that may not make it, but we're gonna give it our best shot, and I am actually gonna stake this one because with those new root nubbins coming, I don't want anything to cause those roots not to want to go into the media. So I am going to actually pot her all the way up to the rim with brim. How many of you remember that? Those of you who are younger won't know what I'm talking about, but those of you who are a little bit more experienced with age will probably remember that. Fill it to the rim with brim. All right, now let's put the stake right there. And then I'm gonna use one of my pretty little clips, and I'm putting the claws away from the spike. I still feel like maybe, I don't know, because I really want this portion. Hold on, I may have to put her in a different size pot, guys. I just don't want to put her in too big of a pot. But this right here is kind of what I wanted closer to the medium. But we're gonna leave it like this for right now, and I'll just put quite the bark around her to help maybe encourage roots to go down. Kind of make a little bridge like that of a piece of bark. And then we'll put a little more on the top, fill her up, and we will wish her luck. Wish her some luck. Y'all put some good thoughts out. Y'all go send your spring cards to the fairies. Now this one is for the one with, I would say, the biggest root system and probably the best root system of all of the Phals that came in. It doesn't need a lot down in there, but let me spritz it so we can put some mycorrhizal fungi. I asked in the other video if anyone was using the mycorrhizal fungi. If you've been using it for a while, what are your results? Now, I have two concerns with this one. One is this leaf right here. It's already almost senesced. I could go ahead and take it off and expose the base for some new roots. But my other concern is this one here, because look at that. I don't want to pot up my orchid with that. So I'm going to cut it right at the crease. And I am going to use my big Fiskars because I might inadvertently use these and not remember that they should probably have been sanitized first, because I don't know what this is. It could just be cold damage, or it could be something else. But either way it goes, it's off now. And then we are going to take this big leaf right here off. just because it will expose the base, and it's already senescing, so it's not going to be on there much longer anyway, and plus that will allow me to kind of see if there's any folks, unwanted guests hanging out on my orchid. I don't see any unwanted guests, but what I do see is a promise. Look at there. Do you see our little root nubbin right there? That's our future. That is our future. So as I said, look at the root system on this lady. This one has, to me, the best root system out of all of them. So we're going to gently and carefully twist her in. Whoop, let me get them all in there. There we are. And I specifically chose this pot because these right here, again, you can get at the Orchid Supply Store. These right here kind of give way. I have a root here that is really wanting to resist. There we go. But it kind of will spread out for you to give you some space and room. Very flexible. I love that about these, and these are excellent for this type of an orchid that you want to try to get everything in there, but you don't really, like if I couldn't have flexed this, these would not have gone in as beautifully as they have. And I do want her to go down just a wee bit lower. Just squeeze it out over here. There we are. Whereas with the more firm plastic pots, they're kind of hard to manipulate what you want to do. In my opinion, some people have a little more luck than others, and I'm probably one of those that don't have very good luck with those, so I prefer to use these in situations like this. All right, and I think that's going to set her low enough, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of position the stake where I kind of want it so that, let's see, where's my little hole? I like to use the holes on the bottom of the pot if I can. If not, I will poke a hole through it if I need to. There we go. And then we just fill her up. Let's use the scoop. The scoop tends to work a little bit faster. I know I'm telling you guys to go to the Orchid Supply Store and purchase some stuffs. Well, I am officially, once this tub is empty, I am officially out of media. So I will be also placing an order because I definitely am going to need some more moss, and I'm going to need some more of the small, medium, and large Orchiata bark. Who knows? I might see an orchid. I might just go ahead and purchase. Who knows? All right, we're going to use another one of our pretty little clips. This time we're going to use a dragonfly. Oh, we used a dragonfly the last time. Let me make sure that's not shaking, you guys. There we go. Just pat that one down a little bit. There's other one I wasn't too worried about because I knew all of the media was going in between the roots, but since this one has a little better root system, I want to make sure that everything kind of goes down in there. And I do press down on the media while I'm doing the repot. I don't press very hard, but I do, you know, a little tug there and a little push there, but I don't push it hard because I don't want to break anything. And my stake desorted, but at least I know now where I kind of want it. So let's, and I did that because I don't want to hit any of the roots. There we go. Now we can put her in there. All right, and again, let's put it on where the claws are holding on to the stick and not to the spike, because I don't want to damage the spike at all. And we'll push that down just a wee bit more, and then I need a little more media around la base. And since that root is up underneath the leaf sheath, I don't have to be super careful about damaging the root because it's not quite out yet. But I will show you here in just a second because I did leave it kind of exposed. So there is our little root nubbin right by my finger. So we will keep an eye on that one. So there is the last 3 of the first 7 ICPU of 2024. I'm not sure if we're going to get more and how many. But if we do, oh my goodness. Ken sends me mainly phals. I love phals. And I have gotten dendrobiums. I've gotten some cattleyas, as you can see. Eventually, many of them are going to be in a giveaway. The only thing you will have to do during the giveaway 1, you'll have to go ahead and subscribe so you know when the giveaway is. And then 2, follow the directions depending. This may be a question on one of the videos. It may be first come, first serve. Who knows? We're going to change it up. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like if you enjoyed the video. Share it with anyone you think might learn anything or find this entertaining. And I will see you guys next time.